City. Hello, everyone. This is Sandy
And I'm Debbie
from the Normal Paranormal Group.
And today, on Wednesday, April 29th, 2020, we are here to share another story. And this is a crazy story from our house. Who has ever heard an animal talk, right? Okay. We're going to bring you back in time to 1976 when this happened. And our grandfather was ill. He had this cat he loved so much. He called it Red.
Big Red.
Big Red, yeah. I never seen my grandfather fall in love with an animal the way he did this one.
And Big Red only had 3 legs.
Yes. So anyways, my grandfather worked to the age of 83. Believe it? He went to work Friday. But he died on Sunday and never came back. He never went to work Monday. So he used to stay in our dining room because we had a household full of people. And Big Red always stayed by him. So a couple of days went by and everyone's in their grieving process. And we had a Grandpa Kelly and a Grandpa Angelo. So we'll get to Grandpa Angelo's story next. But when Grandpa Kelly passed on, we were all sleeping. Were we sleeping that day?
No, not with Kelly. Mom went to work that night, remember?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we called her up, and then they took him to the hospital. And what happened is after he passed away, and I guess we were outside, right? Was it outside that happened?
No, it happened in the dining room.
In the dining room where Kelly used to lay on the couch.
It was in the evening.
Right, he always slept on the couch.
Yeah, in the dining room. So anyways, this cat got everyone's attention. I'm telling you. We heard him say, Kelly. I know it sounds goofy coming from my voice, but the cat did. Kelly. And we all stood up on our feet and went into...
Hi, Jim. Say hello to Marlene.
And we all went into the dining room and watching this cat. And this cat was actually like elongating Kelly, looking for him. The
cat was crying for him.
Yes. And the really weird, odd part about all of this was the next day, the cat was gone. Disappeared. Couldn't find that cat nowhere.
I was so heartbroken that after he died, don't think your animals don't feel you. They love you just as much as you love them.
Yes. And then you could tell about our Grandpa
Angelo one night. No, these are people who are trying to tell people stories like symbols or voices or things that you can't explain.
It goes beyond the normal.
Right. And the thing is, this is something our mother could not make the story up for all of us.
Could not say it was our imagination.
That's right. We were all sleeping. And
now this is 1970.
Right, 1970. We were all sleeping. And all of a sudden, we were all wakened by a woman sobbing, moaning over our heads. Like it was just over our heads.
Yes. And we were upstairs. And I forgot who was in the front part of the attic, sleeping in the bedroom. My parents were downstairs. My sisters were in the other bedroom downstairs. And everyone got up in the middle of the night wondering who is sobbing, who is crying like this.
Who's this woman? What voice was that coming? And our mother could not explain that.
And we all met in the dining room and we're all looking around like, where is this coming from?
Right. And
this was Saturday night. And the next day was Father's Day. Okay.
And then what happened is my parents told us to go home and stay there and wait. And for some odd reason, I knew our grandfather passed away. I told Debbie he passed away.
Yeah, I was shocked. All they did was get a phone call and they said, don't leave the house. Then Sandy looks at me. She goes, Grandpa's dead. And I said, what? And Sandy sat on the front porch and she's crying. And I'm baffled. Like, no one said anything that he's dead. And so hours later, here comes our parents to say, yep, my dad's father had died. And today you wonder, the moaning, the sobbing, it's not screeching or, right away you think of the banshee, that woman.
All right.
And usually when you hear someone dies, and we still can't explain who
that woman was.
Yeah, sobbing and crying over everyone to wake us up.
Right.
Yeah, and that was a crazy part about this, that we had two grandfathers.
And like I said, we're talking about different things. We're going to talk about smell, sense, hearing things. Hi, Danny. Say hi to Eva. I'm going to tell you a story also that was off the wall. I went to bed one night, and I'm laying there, and I swore I heard a bee or a fly buzzing in my ear. It was like in my ear, and I'm thinking, in my bed, and I'm thinking, what is that? What is that? And here the next day, you get a phone call that someone I knew personally was murdered. And I heard stories saying that the bee sound or the fly, or like a fly buzzing, it's like someone, like
a high frequency,
like someone is talking so fast, they're trying to tell you something's going on, what's going on, and they're talking to you about it, and you think it's a bug or a fly, and I'm looking, there's nothing around me. That was another incident of hearing something strange right next to your ears.
Yes. And our animals are the first to know about this stuff.
Right.
We've lost our inner sense, but they haven't.
Right.
And these noises around us, especially high frequency sounds, like you think your ears ringing, but it goes beyond that.
Beyond that. It's someone trying to get a hold of you and tell you. But Debbie and I were never afraid of anything. We're more curious than anything to figure out, what is this? Why is this happening? And so we're going to go, Debbie could tell you the story about, this is another thing about scent, smell.
Yes. There's sometimes in our dining room, you would have an overwhelming scent of lavender and would come out of nowhere and dissipate as fast as it comes. And no, there was no flowers in the house, no flowers outside
or
this
perfume.
House. No perfume. No one wore perfume in our house.
No.
Yeah, surprising. We were all girls and didn't wear perfume.
Yes. And I'll tell you, even with that, my dad, when he was sick and he was dying at the time, he seen a woman in white with a long white, some kind of like gown or something like in the 1920s what they wore, and seen her walking into the bedroom, their bedroom, and he would ask my mom, who's that woman? So we could only relate that this lilac must have been her favorite perfume or flower or whatever it was at the time. So everybody probably smells cigarettes or smells something that
our grandpa cigars.
Oh yeah, he loved the cigar and pipes.
Yes.
It had a certain sense to them, so you could, they were around, because even our grandfather Kelly with his cigars, he had a certain smell to them, and you knew it was him around.
Yes, so there's all signs around us. We have a sensory around us, audibles, audio. I just said that right?
Right.
So we do have the six senses: sight, hearing, sound, all that stuff. So we go beyond that, and we're still experience more things that we could tell you about.
Yeah, and someone calling your name. You heard, who is that calling me?
Right.
Someone's trying to get a hold of you.
It's not in your head, neither.
Right.
It's like this far from you, or it's like a few feet from you, and wait a minute, there's nobody there, And the same with footsteps walking. Like, I'm the only one in the house. Where's the footsteps coming from? Are we scared? No. We just race towards it all the time.
Our whole life was that way. We've always been more curious. We never ran away. We want to see, what is it? What's going on?
Yeah, I got this big old question mark on top of my head all the time. Like, what is this? And what drives me nuts is sometimes is with the flickering of the lights. No storms, no power surges.
Hi, Mary.
And that gets us going. Because it's like, okay, who's here? And the funny part about it is the energy. You could sense energy. You could feel it.
Yes, you could feel that. You could feel that person next to you or behind you. Someone watching you.
Yes.
But again, we're not afraid. We're just more curious who it is.
And the atmosphere around you changes. And if it gets oppressive, that's not a good thing.
Right.
I mean, oppressive. I mean, it's thick, it's heavy, you could feel it like a blanket on you. It's not like around you, it's like on you. So those are the places like, okay, time to leave,
Right.
So you need to practice and understand what your different senses are telling you. But in the meantime, pay attention to your animals, pay attention to the sounds around you.
And the smell.
Yes. And please share your stories with us.
I'm sure everyone has a great story to tell.
Did any one of yous ever hear an animal talk? Say something that shocked the family, like we were shocked.
Yeah, our cat.
Yes.
Or our grandfather's cat. Big red.
Yeah, still mystery where he went.
After he died, Big Red disappeared.
Yeah. Strange.
After he called and cried for him that night. Sad. Very sad.
So until our next time, we have more stories to share with you. So write us a story. You know what? Videotape us a story. That's great. We have all this time at home to spare. And it's better than sitting there being bored, what to do. Tell us an interesting story.
Right, you don't have to say the locations. You don't have to say names. Just talk about your experience. Hi, Donna. And like I said, everybody, tell us your story.
Yes.
And we'll get back to you again with another story about our house.
Okay,
Love yous.
then.
Bye.
Love yous all.
Bye.
Bye.